Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of our new arrivals. My name is Adrian Taskin, I'm the head buyer as well as the director of sales here at Luxury Bazaar. So every week I showcase 10 of my favorite handpicked watches that we got over the previous week that just hit the website. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. And the first watch I wanted to talk about, actually two watches I wanted to talk about that are perpetual calendars. And the question always arises in a collector's mentality, should I go Audemars Piguet or should I go Patek Philippe? And there's never a right or wrong answer, but I will say that between the two, although Patek Philippe is my favorite brand of all time, I would say that the Royal Oak Perpetual in both 39 and 41 millimeters is the best looking perpetual calendar. I cannot put my finger on why that is, but as I've said before, the Royal Oak case design is the best blank canvas to put any type of dial in there, and when they do that, it looks absolutely remarkable. So here we have the rose gold blue dial 26574 OR, the 03 reference, which indicates that it is the newer dial. So this dial, in comparison to the last one, has a little bit of a lighter shade of blue on the background and dark blue sub-dials. This is a watch, again, that is one of the best looking perpetuals in my opinion. Rose gold on blue. It is such an aesthetically pleasing watch and I love to get them in. So, perpetual calendar. Freestyle, dude. I should probably do that whole thing again. Man, it's hard. And next up, we have the Patek Philippe reference 5740 in white gold. And although I had mentioned that the Royal Oak Perpetual, in my opinion, was the most aesthetically pleasing watch, I still believe the 5740 is a little bit superior because it is Patek Philippe. Patek Philippe is synonymous with the perpetual calendar, and of course, his popularity has grown even further with the Nautilus. This is a perfect blend of the two. Now, the fact that it's white gold makes it a little bit understated, and it's not as bold as a 5980 in rose gold or a 5990 in rose gold or the new 5712 in rose gold. So, value proposition in terms of MSRP to resale market, I believe is the best when it comes to 5740. This is a watch that's in this condition is around $205,000 with the retail price of close to $165,000. So the premium is not that big. The last thing that I love about this watch more than anything is the fact that it's a perpetual calendar, but yet sits so slim on the wrist. It's a watch that you can wear every day. It's a watch that you can wear a tuxedo in. It's almost like an S63 AMG or like a Bentley V12 Flying Spur, where you got the power and the might in the Nautilus. Yeah, you had the luxury and prestige of the perpetual calendar. All right, moving on to Audemars Piguet. It's hot. All right, so here I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. We have two 41 millimeter APs. We have a 15510 with the deletion of the AP badging at 12 o'clock. This is the newest reference, 15510 ST, that they came out in 2022 with the anniversary rotor. Now they make them in regular production with the basic rotor. So 15510 ST in white, great piece. And the one thing that I will say I like about white dials, you know, everybody kind of always is geared towards a blue dial or green dial because it's just has so much character to it. Obviously, most men like blue or green dials, but I will say I've gotten a lot of wrist time over the years with white dials and black dials, and I think what's great about them is they literally fit anything you're wearing. It's a you can wear it with any single color at any given time, and it's just super fun. So 15510 ST, and now we're going to talk about the previous generation 15500 ST black dial. There's a lot of talk in the community about, especially for somebody that's just entering the community, what is the difference? Now, of course, there are not a lot of major differences between the 15510 and the 15500. One thing that they do share similarly is at 3 o'clock is the date window, whereas the previous generation 15400 actually had a dash where the date is located now. So I think they did an aesthetically very, very good thing there by deleting that index and just putting the date there. It's really up in the air which one is a better watch, and I don't want to say better watch, but which one is more pleasing, the 15500 with the AP logo at 12 o'clock or the new 15510 without the AP logo. Now we're going to scale things down. We're going to talk about an IWC Pilot's Chrono with the blue dial. Now, the reason that I picked this watch today is because, look, there are so many watches out there that people want to pick up that are not your quintessential Rolex or Cartier or even Tudor, and they say to themselves, look, I'm in the market for something that's under $10,000. What should I buy? One of the brands that I always guide them towards is IWC, because IWC is a brand with such amazing heritage. They've been around for a great time, and they make a very, very good product. So here's a Pilot's Chrono under $10,000 with the blue dial. That's a daily piece and highly, highly recommended by me. Speaking of blue dials, and it seems like we have a few blue dials in our collection here today, I'm going to talk about the Overseas Vacheron Constantin in rose gold. Now, this is the newer reference, the 4520V, and it's one of those watches that can be picked up right around the retail price mark, which is why we buy them, yet it's very hard to walk in the Vacheron Constantin without having some type of relationship or purchase history and buying something like this. And I think the whole entire watch market would agree on the fact that Vacheron Constantin makes the most bold and beautiful blue dial on the market, and I would definitely have to agree with that here. One of my other favorite attributes about this watch and why I always love buying them is because whoever we sell them to has the option of quick detaching the bracelet and putting a rubber or leather strap on, which I think is an absolute game changer, and any brand that doesn't do that yet needs to get on this train and do that because it makes the watch so much more dynamic. So there's a rubber strap, there's a leather strap with it. You could also go to Vacheron Constantin and get a white strap, and then the infamous orange strap that I've seen many times collectors wear and yet have not been able to find one. So if anybody out there can find me an orange rubber strap for a Vacheron Constantin, please comment below. Rolex Yachtmaster. Okay, I've said this many times over the past couple years that the rose gold Oyster Flex Yachtmaster is actually, it is considered a precious metal watch, right? It is rose gold, it is a rose gold case, it is a rose gold buckle, yet on a rubber strap. But in terms of precious metal watches, the #1 selling watch in precious metal that we sell here at Luxury Bazaar is the 40mm rose gold Yachtmaster. Now, this is the reference 116655. This is the previous generation of today's 126655. So what is the real difference between them? Well, there's a different caliber, a different power reserve, and more importantly, the glide lock clasp, which in my opinion is one of the best things engineering-wise Rolex has done. Yes, the glide lock clasp of all things that Rolex engineers is one of my favorite things because it's a game changer. If the watch is small or big on you, you can just make a quick clasp slide adjustment and it solves your problem for you. So Rolex Yachtmaster rose gold, love having these in. There is no shelf life on this and it will probably be gone before this video launches. All right, next up we have the elephant in the room, or should I say the Code 1159. Now, why do I always buy these Code 1159s? Well, first and foremost, again, value proposition. A couple years ago, there were watches that were trading at or around retail, and some of them actually over retail. Now those days are over and they can be picked up under retail for a quite significant discount, and yet I still feel that there's significant value in the fact, not only in the price, but in the actual product itself. So Audemars Piguet, obviously synonymous with their Royal Oaks and the Royal Oak Offshores. Before they had the Code 1159, they had the Jewels line and they had the Millenary line, which in my opinion did not do well. So it was very bold of them to create another line. I mean, obviously they had to. They can't just have Royal Oaks in their catalog. Producing the Code 1159 was one of the most underrated things that they have done, and I love getting them in. The case design language, the movement in the back, just how comfortable the watch is. It's something you can wear with a suit. It's something you can wear with a tuxedo. It's something you can lounge around the house with, barbecue with. It doesn't matter. There's such a great depth of characteristics of Code 1159. It doesn't matter the metal, doesn't matter the siding, and it does not matter the dial. This one right here is the white gold version with the rose gold sides, so we call it the two-tone Code 1159 Chrono. Moving on from the Code 1159, I'm going to showcase you guys another new arrival that I picked out that is different from the Royal Oak, and much different from the Royal Oak. In fact, if I wouldn't tell you that it was an Audemars Piguet, most people, I would say 9 out of 10 actual collectors wouldn't even know what it is. It is the Audemars Piguet Bamboo, a watch that's from the 1980s and early 1990s, and it's actually called the Bamboo because it mimics actual bamboo stalks, the way the case design language and the way the bracelet is made. What's really cool about this specific one, it's gonna be very hard for you guys to see on camera, but if you do click the link for our new arrivals, you'll be able to see it zoomed up, is that this literally looks like an Audemars Piguet that had a collaboration with Audemars Piguet. The dial is literally stamped with little APs everywhere. It's super cool and I really love it. So this is one of those pieces that's kind of like that Art Deco vibe that a lot of influencers you see wearing, the same guys that like the Piaget polos or some of the Patek Philippe ellipses. It kind of goes with that whole vibe. So we actually get these in, we do super well with them. Audemars Piguet white gold bamboo logo dial. Finally, we're going to wrap this up with the greatest watch of all time, the stainless steel Daytona black dial. This is the reference 126500, the newly updated dial. And what's really funny is that with the new Pandas, the 116500, the old reference, versus the 126500, you can almost immediately tell which reference is which because the subdials against a white background are so much easier to tell which one is which. Obviously, the 126500, the newer reference, has much skinnier black subdials, but the black dials, you have to really coming close to see that one's a 116500 and one's a 126500. Once you kind of put them side by side, you can tell the difference. Most people go for the Panda. I would say probably 65% of the people go with the Panda, but I am actually of the opinion that the black dial one is a nicer watch. Not nicer watch, it just speaks to me more because it's got this whole black stealth look. It's just super cool. I love having them, I love wearing them, I love selling them. So black dial 126500. And funny enough, this whole time talking about the new arrivals in this briefcase, I just noticed that our friend, the 5980 white gold jeans, was just happened to be laying on the table here. And funny enough, in last week's new arrivals email, I did review this and it sold right off the email. So thank you guys very much. That being said, this wraps up this week's new arrivals. Click the link below. You'll see all the watches here listed. Like, share, subscribe. Have a great Mother's Day weekend, and we'll see you next time.